Alright guys, welcome back to the Dark Souls 3 all-in-one guide. Now, there is no achievements to be had in the DLCs, however there are a plethora of amazing items to get, and I just don't feel a walkthrough would be complete without going through the DLC. Now, for your setup in this area, you're going to want two types of arrows, your feather arrows and your fire arrows. And we're going to switch our bandit knife to a chaos bandit knife because it deals fire damage, and a lot of the enemies here are weak to fire. And for spells, we're going to have Hidden Body, Rapport, and Spook. And once again, I'm not using any Estus, no regular healing Estus, I'm only using Ashen Estus. My thinking behind these walkthroughs is if I can't get through the area without regular Estus, then it's not a good walkthrough. But if I can get through the area with no heals, as far as Estus flasks, then it's a pretty good walkthrough. Same with boss fights. I'm not going to use any Estus for boss fights either. If you don't know how to enter the DLC, just go to the Cleansing Chapel bonfire and talk to Gale, and he will transport you here. Right off the bat, if you do a 180, you can pick up this item behind you. This item will reduce frost buildup, and this NPC will welcome you. Now, even though we're not using regular Estus, we still have ways to heal. We still have the Sun Princess Ring and the blessed items, and we also have the Chime, which you can spam to up your healing as well. Go ahead and hit this bonfire, and right off the bat you want to go this direction. This is a very specific route I have designed to make this area very simple. So you want to get your poison build out here. Go Hidden Body. We're going to poison all these guys. Now try to lock onto them as quickly as you can and move to the next guy. It can be kind of finicky at times, I've noticed. But if you take too much time, you might want to reapply Hidden Body, because you don't want to get caught out in the open with these guys. After you poison the last guy, just run straight. You should run into this guy. He'll get up and start walking on his patrol path. You can backstab him immediately and continue running forward. And this guy will have his back to you as well, and you can backstab him. You kind of want to do this section fast because you don't want your Hidden Body to run out before getting over here, because the other guys that you poison can still see you. You should be able to get this guy relatively easy. And then just double hand your weapon and one-shot this guy with a heavy attack. And you'll get the poison gem. Now, there's a couple of things you can do here. The guys that you poison aren't quite dead yet, but there's an item that you want to get, but you don't want to go too close, so my recommendation is just go ahead and go Hidden Body if you want the item and just run to the next section. They'll be dead before you get up top of where they are, and we'll drop back down. But yeah, I like to go Hidden Body and get this item here and just run. But don't go on the hill because there's another guy that you can aggro even if the other guys are dead. But we'll take care of him soon enough. This area will collapse. Now do not go in the middle. Whatever you do, do not go in the middle of this field because there are wolves and they will alert the other wolves and it is a complete cluster. But I'm going to show you guys how to get through it without alerting the wolves. Here you want to go Hidden Body and kill this wolf immediately. This one will alert everyone. Kill it. Do not let this one howl. Now there are a number of tree women here, but the Chaos Bandit Knife with 2 charged attacks, heavy, will take each tree out. The ones that have their hair flowing in the wind, they're the ones that are aggro on you. And some of them will shoot these fireballs that hone on you for a while, so it's quite annoying. Here you want to go Hidden Body. Don't worry about the item. You want to get Rapport out and rapport this first guy here. They'll all attack him and kill him. And just keep rapporting guys and turning themselves on each other. But make sure to go Hidden Body. Do not let your Hidden Body run out. Just kill the survivor, and then you can loot the area. You'll get your first follower weapon, the Follower Javelin. You cannot farm these enemies for their weapons. They will not drop them. You have to get them from the DLC. And this is your first weapon. Now you might have a straggler that didn't die from the poison. He might have 1 or 2 hits left, like this guy. He's near death anyway. He didn't have but a slither. Okay, this next section is quite dicey, and I mean dicey. If the wolves see you in any way, shape, or form, they're going to alert all the other wolves, and it is just very hard to deal with. The wolves' AI is the best in the game, so you want to go Hidden Body, come up here slowly up here, Make sure you have your stealth set up on and poison these 2 wolves and then back up. Let the poison do its work, but in the meantime, we have plenty of work to do. We want to switch our ring to a hawk ring so we can get maximum damage out of our arrows, and we're going to snipe all of these tree women. If you shoot them with a fire arrow, they will writhe in pain, and they won't be able to shoot their frozen blast at you, their freeze blast. Snap freeze, I think it's called, which you'll get later. But there are a number of these trees you got to take out. And you can see there's even 2 more wolves down here at the base of this tree. And interestingly enough, they will not aggro if you kill the tree behind them. But you want to take out all of these tree women before going up here. But by the time you kill all these tree women, those 2 wolves that you poisoned will be dead. I'm going to slowly come up here, make sure both wolves are dead, and you got some more tree women to take out. Now it's very important to switch back to your Lingering Dragon Crest ring, because if you're going to poison wolves, you better not be out in the open. If they so much as see you for a second, they will aggro every wolf in the area. So we're going to take out these 2 wolves with some poison. And then we're going to come over here and poison these 2 wolves. But I recommend going hidden body again. Reapply it. Do not have any chance possible for you to get caught out. And you need to keep your distance when applying the poison. You cannot get too close to these wolves. But if you play your cards right, none of these wolves will aggro on you. We don't have to wait for the poison to take effect here, because we can just snipe them once their health reaches half. But there's another tree woman here we can go ahead and take out. But we don't have the hawk ring anymore, so we're going to have a little struggle, and the damage is going to fall off just a little bit. See, the game just wants you to come up here and just willy-nilly and just be attacked by all these tree women. And you saw there was quite a few of them, and the pack of dogs as well. And then the dogs will howl for their friends, and then you have an absolute cluster on your hands. But doing it this way is the most efficient. If you don't want to wait for the poison to take effect, you can snipe them, but we're just going to be patient. And we have 3 more tree women to take out. Let's take this one out in front of us. Now, if they do fire their frost, just run away so it doesn't catch you. Now, the next tree woman is on the left. And there's another hidden one down here. Well, not really hidden, but it can kind of catch you off guard. Now, from your position, if you count 3 trees down, that's the one that's hostile. The other 2 are not. And this is the last tree woman of this area. There'll be another one in the tower area, but that's not for a second. We gotta kill a mini-boss. Well, not really kill, chase off a mini-boss. We're gonna go ahead and get our black fire bombs here. Now, go hidden body. And there are 3 flies protecting the frozen weapon spell, but we can double hand our weapon, charge attack, and they'll die in one hit. Easy peasy. Now, up until this point, we've had success not alerting any wolves. However, this next section is scripted. There is nothing you can do to avoid it. There are going to be 3 wolves that come down from the mountain, and then you can kill them right as they land, and they're going to howl, but their howl doesn't mean anything as long as you stay to the far left. And I recommend putting on hidden body just so the wolves can't see you that are in the field. But stay to the far left and they'll jump down. You take them all out very quickly before they know what's going on. Don't worry about the howl, it didn't mean anything. Now, at this point, you can just completely avoid going in the middle of the field. There's only one item in the middle of the field, and it's a rusted coin. Do you really want it that bad? If you do, you can poison the wolves, or you can just go hidden body and kill them. You can see they've been alerted to your presence, sort of. But if I run away, they'll go back to their spot. They haven't really noticed you yet. But of course, hidden body does help. They'll end their search and go back to the field. But like I said, you can poison them, like we did before. But you have to be very careful with your positioning here. It's very picky. I think there are 3 wolves in the field you need to poison. And there's some more wolves on the left on the way to the mini-boss. But here we're just going to poison each one. As long as you're hidden body, they shouldn't see you. But stay far away, pretty far, good distance when you poison them. And make sure you keep applying hidden body. And you see I was a little late applying it there. So again, they're going to see me. But as long as they don't howl, we're in good shape. But we're about to take out the remaining wolves. And I'm not going to wait for the poison to finish. I'm going to snipe them. I believe I snipe them here. Or actually, no, they do come at me, I think. On a lot of my test runs, I was able to just snipe them. You can see they're very clever wolves here. But we've poisoned them, so they're going to go down very easily. And there's the howl. Now, we've taken some damage here. So what we're going to do, before we fight the mini-boss, we're going to go Sun Princess Ring, and we're going to equip our Chime. Our Chime has a skill which allows us to regenerate health slowly, as long as it's in our hand. And you can actually spam this if you want it to go faster. I found this out later, but it's not really necessary at the time. But here's the item that you just had to have, the rusted coins. This area can be totally avoided. There's just no reason to go for those rusted coins. So essentially we made the area harder than we needed it to be. But you can see our health is going up pretty quickly. Now there's the big wolf right there. He's quite annoying to deal with. But we can take him out twice, and we can take away 15% of his health for the main boss fight, which is later on in the video. But we're going to go back to our setup here, and we're going to go to our regular bandit knife plus 10 sharp, because we're going to apply Carthus Rouge. Try to bleed out this wolf as fast as we can. Make sure you take off your bow so that you're not fat rolling. Take out the first wolf, and no matter how many times I fight this guy, I always seem to take hits. And I take a hit here, and I think I take another hit before it's over. Because he jumps backwards, you can never really close the distance in time, and your weapon is short, at least mine is. So it's kind of hard to get any kind of damage in. But we got him, but you can see over half of our health is gone. But we're just going to do our Chime again, and it'll be relatively fast. We'll get our health back up. This is a good way to demonstrate why we really don't need Estus. If we do take hits, we can heal this way. Of course, in a boss fight, it's not going to do you much good. unless you play keep away, of course. Now up here is the Millwood Great Bow. We'll get that later, not yet. You could kill those enemies now if you wanted to, but we're gonna deal with them later. You could use poison arrows or just snipe them from cover here, but not necessary. We're gonna make them kill each other later. Now, we're about to meet a new enemy, the Millwood Knights. Now, these guys are not to be toyed with. They are very powerful enemies. They will kill you very quickly. They have very strong weapons and have great poise. The best way to deal with them is to turn them against each other or to rapport them. Good thing they can be rapported. Now, you can see our health is almost topped off now. See, that didn't really take long, and we had nearly half of our health gone. Really no need for Estus anymore, at least going through the levels. But we're going to switch back to our Chaos Bandit Knife because there is a tree woman nearby. We're going to go Hidden Body, get our reporter out. Now take care, there is an archer on the tower, and he will snipe you if you get too close, but here we're safe. We're going to go ahead and rapport this guy and just have our way with him. Again, these enemies will not drop their gear. You'll get it throughout the DLC, just like the follower equipment. Now we're going to double hand our weapon and kill this tree woman. Now, this next section is dicey, but we're gonna, before we do it proper, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the Millwood Knights. So we're going to rapport this guy over here on the right. And by rapporting this guy, he's close enough for the archer to see. So the archer is going to start shooting him. In turn, it's going to trigger a massive brawl between other Millwood Knights that are going to come through other sections. There's one in the tower that will come down the stairs, and there's another one with his dog that will get triggered as well. And they'll all just start fighting each other. Just stay behind cover and watch the mayhem unfold. But stay out of range. Just stay out of sight, especially of the archer. But if the rapport wears off, you're going to have to reapply it. But sometimes, and I've noticed this a few times, if the rapport, it sometimes doesn't even work on one of them, or is like a glitch or something. It's kind of weird, but these enemies are dead at least. But yeah, I have put rapport on an enemy before, one of these Millwood Knights, and it doesn't work. I know one in particular in the next section of the DLC, which we're going to get to in the next video. He is immune to rapport. You cannot use it on him. But I'll mention that guy when we get there. Now we're going to get this wolf's attention. One wolf is okay to deal with, but a pack of them, not fun. Now that we've cleared the area right here, next to the entrance, we're going to, well, we got this guy to deal with. Rapport him and just take him out. You could use the Millwood Knights as your friends to take out the mini-boss again. However, it's inconsistent and the rapport wears off because the wolves, they're just surrounding the enemy and it just takes so long. It's not a consistent strategy, but what I've found is consistent is what we're about to do. I'm going to get this blessed gem here. Now, there's going to be the big wolf jump down from this mountain, and he's going to have a pack of his wolves with him, and I've counted at least 6 of them before. I don't remember seeing that many here. I think he kills some of his friends. But what we're going to do is we're going to lure them into this area. The big wolf generally does not come into this area. However, there is times where he has gotten in here. We're going to go ahead and clear the tower first, and then we'll deal with the mini-boss, and then we'll go get the Millwood Great Bow in that section I told you about earlier. Now, there's a crystal lizard there, you'll see. We'll get him on the way down. But there is an archer up here, like I said. you can report him, and if there's any enemies left in his sight, he will snipe them from here and kill them. But pretty much all the enemies are dead, except for, I think, one Millwood Knight and his dog on the far, far left of the area, and they're not worth killing because they are guarding 6 homeward bones, and it's just not worth your time or effort to go that direction. So we're just going to backstab him and kick him off. Now we missed the shield item that we're going to get. We're going to get it on the way down, though, but you can get it on the way up, but I missed it. But here you can jump across to get the Millwood Axe. Very powerful weapon. And we're going to go up this ladder to get our next set of ashes and a soul item. I'm just going to cast Spook here to get it easier way down here. Negate some fall damage and just make it quick way down. I luckily stumbled upon the shield. I completely forgot about the shield. But it's right here. And there's the crystal lizard on the stairs coming up. Now, as I mentioned before, we're going to lure the pack of wolves into this area, and we're going to get on this plank of wood. I'll show you guys in a second. It's kind of a safe spot. The wolves can get there, but like I said before, I don't know what happened with this soul item here. It glitched and I couldn't get it. This item. But what you want to do is you're going to go ahead, make sure you have your bow, because you're going to need it. Going to run straight until you see the big wolf appear. Once you see the big wolf appear, turn around and run back. We're going to turn around and run back. There's at least 6 wolves and him at the same time, and we're not dealing with that nonsense. Just go in here, go up the first flight of stairs, and find this plank of wood rafter thing. Just stay right here. The wolves cannot get you unless they go up the stairs and drop down, which they can do, but it's easy for us to see it and we can get the jump on them. Now I've counted at least 6 wolves before, but like I said, I think he kills some of them because we only kill 2 of them here. And I'm pretty sure he's killing some of his friends because I'm going to get some souls in a minute. Because the big wolf cannot get in here. But we're going to poison him through the wall. And then just snipe him as we see. Yeah, see I got some souls there. Yeah, he's killing some of the wolves. Which makes it easy for us. We just want to see where the big wolf is at. But usually if you poison through the wall here, you'll catch him. Yeah, we've procced the poison. And you don't have to take his entire health bar down because, like I said, he's a boss later on. But if you take him out twice in these areas that we've done, like I said, you'll decrease his health by about 15% for the main boss fight later. So the health that you're dealing now is not in vain. Now, he has gotten through this door before. I have seen it, but it's rare. And that's it. Now, before we leave this area, we're going to go get the Millwood Great Bow. We have to deal with quite a few of these tree women again, but we're going to take them out from distance. And there is a dog, a couple of dogs as well, with the Millwood Knights, but we're going to turn everyone on themselves, so it's going to be easy. But like I said, there's quite a few of these tree women again, and this one has the If you see fire on their branches, you know these are the ones that will shoot fireballs at you. And they hone in on you forever, it seems. Quite hard to dodge. Now we're going to go back to our stealth setup, and we're going to rapport these guys and just watch the mayhem unfold again. Of course, you can fight them if you want to, but it's just funny seeing them kill each other. The dogs will also turn on their owners. Just stay out of sight so they don't see you. We'll just take out the survivor, and that's this area clear. And our reward for all that nonsense is the Millwood Great Bow. Now this bow has the strongest attack rating in the entire game. Base damage anyway. But the range is extremely short, so... It's kind of weird though, because the bow has an amazing zoom feature, but it has the worst range. It doesn't make any sense. But if you want to use the bow, you'll have to buy the arrows, which are very expensive, and you can get them from the handmaiden once you turn in the ashes that we just got from the tower. And you'll be able to get the Millwood armor set as well. Now to proceed forward, we need to go where that wolf was going to ambush us. And this will lead us to the next bonfire. The area actually leads... There's two areas where we got the frozen weapon spell from those bugs. It leads to this bonfire as well if you continue down the path. In fact, that's the path I took in my Indiana Jones walkthrough. I did not even do this section in my Indiana Jones walkthrough. I skipped this entire section. So, you don't have to go to the tower, but there's some good items to be had. There is an item as you drop down. I couldn't remember which one it was, so I kept panning the camera. Here it is. And there's a hole you can drop into where the bonfire is, or you can just loop around. We're going to choose to loop around. And that's our next destination, that bridge. We're going to loop around here and get the bonfire. Now at this point you have two choices. You can either go into the depths of the painting by knocking the bridge down, or you can go to the left of the area, go down a ladder, and then that will take you to the Corvian settlement. For us, we're going to opt to go into the depths of the painting. So we're going to knock the bridge down, but we're going to go to the chapel first. And we'll meet Sister Fried and her buddy, but we'll also get a couple items, another hollow gem, and the Chillbite ring if we talk to Frida a couple times. Don't bother killing these Corvians, they're not worth your time unless you just want to kill them. They pose a 0 threat to you. You can see this guy's not too happy with our presence here.
You'll know better if you've now.
We'll deal with him later. But there's a bonfire here. And Sister Freed.
Welcome, I am but full lord, but writ I presume me. Ah, yeah, I remember it. Now, thou.
Now, at this point, it might be a good idea to go back to Firelink, turn in your ashes, and regroup to get ready for the next section.
Gracious, let I own her. Ashen one.
Got quite a few souls from those souls, so we're going to go ahead and level up. Again, I'm trying to get my intelligence to 40 to equal my faith. Still a long ways away. 7 more levels is going to take a while. Now we're ready to go into the depths of the painting. Now the depths of the painting is a relatively short area that houses a boss. The Grave Tender and the Great Wolf. The wolf that we've already fought twice. But we're going to make very short work of this boss. I don't even think this boss fight lasts 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half. Because we're using our uber boss killing method again. Which we'll get to that later. But let's go ahead and knock this bridge down. Now you got to be wary. I've died by falling down this thing. You have to make sure it says descend. And sometimes it doesn't appear right away. There it goes. Now there are a couple of Millwood Knights here, archers, that can cause you problems. But we're going to nip that in the bud right away. We can make short work of these enemies. And make this area very easy to traverse. So what the game wants you to do is to drop down here. And we'll do that, but not right now. What you want to do is come over here. But go hidden body, get rapport out. I want to make sure we rapport this guy right here. By rapporting this guy, he is going to aggro on another Millwood archer down there. And this is the guy that will cause you a lot of headaches as you're going down the branches. But by rapporting this guy, they're going to fire at each other until they're both dead. Or near death. But usually this guy will kill him. They're trading arrows right now, but he's not going to last much longer. And once he's dead, you just finish the other one off. We've effectively taken out the 2 most annoying enemies of this section. Just like that. Well, unfortunately, he didn't die. So we kind of screwed up there. Well, we got unlucky. We could have just slashed him to death, but instead we went for the backstab. So it might be a better idea to just slash him to death. But here we're just going to shoot him with a bow. By locking on, because we can't aim. Now he's dead. Now we're going to make our way back to where the game wanted us to drop down. But you got to be careful. You can actually get trapped. And you'll have to use a homeward bone to get out of here. Or you'll just fall to your death. I actually got caught in this trap a couple of times. That's why I'm looking around to make sure I don't do it again. But you just want to backtrack and drop down here. And there's our friend. Now when you drop down here, there'll be a crystal lizard. Now you don't even have to kill this thing. This thing will always commit suicide and you'll get credit for it. But there are a couple of followers along the way, but we're going to rapport them. But yeah, don't get... The game wants you to chase the crystal lizard into the trap. But there we get it anyway. By reporting that guy, this guy's going to aggro on him. I think there's only one follower left in the area now. But before we leave the branch area, we need to get the follower saber, the second follower weapon. It's kind of easy to miss. I've missed it several times. But there's a follower down there. Right now I'm just trying to find out where the saber is. You definitely want to drop down here, but this is the way forward. But you got to come back up the branches. And there it is right there. Now we can feel free to go down. I recommend spook just in case you slip. Now there's a crab down here. He's not worth your time. Fight him if you want to. I never do. There is a bonfire right there. Now at this point you have two choices. You can go ahead and go to the boss, or you can loot the area, the remaining part of the area. We're going to opt to get some more items first before going to the boss. You do want to head towards the crab, but we're not fighting him. We're just going to run past him. And we're not going to snipe the tree women this time. We're just going to run past them initially and deal with this hybrid one that's at the very back of this section here. Now, this tree woman in the back here is unique. It can actually run after you. It's like a mobile, more mobile than the others. But by killing this tree woman here, you'll get snap freeze. A pretty effective spell when used in conjunction with something like Fire Surge, because you can reset the frostbite meter and then proc frost multiple times. Here we're just going to snipe a few tree women along the way, and then we have the Uber tree woman that's coming up, the most powerful of all the tree women, that's going to be shooting these multiple homing fireballs at us. For her, we're just going to go guns blazing with the Chaos Bandit knife. And then we get the pleasure of climbing the longest ladder in the Soulsborne series, at least from what I've seen. I haven't played Elden Ring to its completion yet, but I haven't seen a ladder this long. But that ladder won't even appear until you kill that tree woman that gave us snap freeze. I'm going to go hidden body just for some extra protection here, but I don't think it matters. She's already firing her fireballs. We're going to take some shots here. But the quicker you get on her, less damage you'll sustain. But by the time we get to the top of this ladder, just with our Blessed Cestus, we're going to be back to full health, because this is the longest ladder At least in the Dark Souls series, I know for sure. But once we get up here, our reward is a Titanite slab, which we will use on the Rose of Ariandel. Well, that's what we're going to use it on. Feel free to use it whatever you want, but I recommend saving a couple for the next couple of boss weapons you're going to get. And we're going to have a weapon we get in the next episode, which is going to help us tremendously. So I need a slab for that as well. Hopefully you've been preserving your slabs, being a little stingy with them, because there's some really good weapons to use them on. But you're still going to get 2 more slabs after the one we're fixing to get, because after beating Frida's second boss phase, you'll get one, and you'll get one after beating Frida's third phase too, when you go back and talk to a certain NPC. So that's 3 slabs right there. And then we're going to get plenty more in the next DLC. The Ring City DLC has quite a few slabs. So you're still going to be okay. Now we just want to take out these bugs and get to the bonfire and go back to Firelink. We're going to prepare for the boss. I recommend, if you do not have Carthus Rouge, to buy some from the Handmaiden before going to the boss fight. Now you could go here. There's a crystal lizard here. I think this one also runs off and commits suicide. Yep. That's the way to the Corvian village. We don't want to go there yet. We're going to just go back to the bonfire, which is right here. But for the boss, you're going to want Carthus Rouge. So like I said, go to the Handmaiden and buy some if you don't have any. You're going to want the Right Eye of Pontiff and Carthus Beacon on your spell slot. I'm not even sure why I went to the Firekeeper here. I don't have near enough souls to level up. I guess I wanted to see how much I have left to level up, which I need 99,000 souls just to level up again. But yeah, if you don't have Carthus Rouge, make sure you get some. Here I'm just checking. Yeah, I don't need no Homer Bones anymore, that's for sure. But yeah, Carthus Rouge is what you want. I'm just buying some for the future as well.
Ashen 1.
You're not going to need your bow, so you can take that off. You're going to want to be light so you can roll. We are going to need our Pyromancy glove. We're going to take these rings off. We're going to redo everything. So we need stamina as well, so we're going to use that as well. The Lingering Dragon Crest Ring is a surprise because the longer our spell lasts, the better. The Right Eye of Pontiff. I had trouble deciding here. I ended up going with the Lord's Sword Ring, even though I had to take a couple of hits in this boss fight, though. I think I take 2 hits. But it's better to be guns blazing. You want to go back to your sharp bayonet knife as well. The faster you take out the first part of the boss fight, the better. The Grave Tender is going to give you problems fighting the wolf. You don't want to fight 2 enemies at the same time. So the faster you can take out the Grave Tender, the better you're going to be. So Carthus Beacon is definitely a must here. I think I put a fire spell on, but I don't even use it. I was trying to think that, well, the wolves might be weak to the fire. It might be easy to take them out. Because you got to take out 3 wolves before you get to fight the Grave Tender without any interruption. And I didn't edit this out. I died here, so I'm just going to leave it here. So that's why my souls are at 0. because I'm not using any Estus, and you can't take very many hits. See, I died a couple times in this fight. The best thing to do is go ahead and take out the wolves as quickly as you can. Go ahead and activate all your buffs. You're not going to have much time to do it again. So you're on a timer here. That's why the lingering Dragon Crest ring is important. But you want to kick his shield away first. If he's holding it like this, you can go ahead and kick it away and riposte him. At this point, we're just going to go guns blazing. Just hit his shield, it doesn't matter. He'll still bleed through the shield, as you can see. And don't waver. Go straight at him. Do not be passive right here. You want to take him out before the wolf shows up. And you can see the wolf has already lost some health because we fought him twice. When it transitions into its next phase, we're going to do a lot of bleed damage. And it's pretty much over at this point. We'll make sure to put our ring back on for souls. Forgot to put on the symbol of avarice there. An homage to Knight Artorias. Now we're just going to go level up, and that'll be the episode, guys. In the next episode, we're going to be going through the Corvian settlement, and we're going to be getting one of the most awesome weapons this game has to offer. And we're going to make an absolute mockery of one of the hardest bosses in the Souls series, in my opinion. At first I thought this was one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in the Souls series, Sister Freed. We're going to make such a mockery of this boss. It's unbelievable. I don't think any other walkthrough has this strategy I use. I've looked for it to see if anybody come up with it because it's so damn effective. I was like, certainly somebody else has seen this before or used this before, but I haven't seen it. So maybe this will be a first. But it's absolutely the easiest way to take out Sister Freed that I've seen. I'll see you guys in the next one.